Hi guys, and welcome to this video. So, why am I starting a YouTube channel at the ripe old age of 52? Well, firstly, I can't believe I'm 52. I still feel like I'm in my 20s and 30s. Where's the time gone? But the reason why I'm starting a YouTube channel is a bit of a pivot. Now, there are two reasons why I'm doing this. The first reason is I don't want to work for an employer. I don't want to go get a real job. I don't want to be at a location dependent place. I don't want to go to a place to work, do their 8 hours and then come back. I don't want to work with people who I choose not to work with. And I want to work for myself. So that is reason. Two is I don't need to work for somebody else. We now live in the greatest period ever of all of human history where an ordinary everyday person, individual like you and I, can work from home and make money. We can make money by selling digital products or just even communicating and talking to and creating digital assets that we stick online that can be received, enjoyed and bought by people from all over the world. And more importantly, most people can do it actually from a mobile phone. Now, I prefer to use a laptop because I like my bigger screens, I've got my webcam connected, but there are people who are using a mobile phone because they can take photographs with that, they can take videos, they connect to free-to-use social media platforms, and they can upload all of that, even do the editing of any videos on apps, and they can upload it all to these free-to-use social media platforms. They can get those out in front of potentially thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, and millions of people at no cost to them. No additional cost. If they use another platform like School, Patreon or Substack, they can all be managed through their phones as well. So, and they can, places like Facebook, Instagram and X, I believe, and YouTube, as well as School and Patreon, they will all allow you to take subscriptions for your content. So it can all be done in the phone. And it is such a brilliant time to be doing this. And it's not just something for the youth. Now you have to remember YouTube was started in around 2004, I believe it was. And so a lot of the youngsters, a lot of the 20-year-olds who started with that are now in their 40s. And, you know, people who were in the 30s watching the first YouTube video will be now in the 50s. So it's not like it's a platform for young people. YouTube is a platform for anyone and everyone. Now you've got to remember is YouTube is a platform. It is a tool. It is a broadcasting platform. It is a broadcasting system. It allows ordinary, everyday individuals to share videos. And that basically means that it can be anyone from the age of, I don't know what the legal requirement is. So I'm going to say 16 or 18. So anybody from the age of 16, 18, all the way up to however how old you are. Someone who's 110 could actually be publishing videos to YouTube, maybe with help, I don't know. But there is very little rules and regulations with YouTube. As long as you don't steal somebody else's work, or, you know, you can't go and upload a Disney film and try and make money off that because it's copyrighted to Disney. You can't go and share really unnecessarily divisive, hateful content that is just designed to cause trouble. You can't go and share graphic violence or pornography, but really anything after that is just fair game. You can talk about anything and everything. And so for me, the attraction of YouTube is that you can potentially find your true 1,000 fans. Now, this was a term coined by Kevin Kelly. I can't remember exactly when he did it, but it was written on his blog a few years ago. I read it, and it's something I've thought about often. And that was, Kevin pointed out that when the internet was invented, it got rid of all the gatekeepers, which basically meant that a musician, an artist, a author, they could contact or connect with and have a conversation with on a regular daily basis with their audience without the need of sort of the gatekeeper. So for example, a writer would have to go to a publishing house and the publishing house would say yay or nay and they would publish your book for you. And musicians or singers, they would have to get a record deal with a record label. If you weren't good enough, chances are you would never get a record out there. If you wanted to publish your own records in the old days, it was extremely expensive. So you always had to have an agent, you always had to have a record deal, you had to have a record label, and it was the same with authors who wrote, you know, people had publishing houses turned down J.K. Rowling about 12 times for the Harry Potter series. You look how big that is. She was rejected 12 times, I think it was. To write your own books in those days would have been incredibly costly. You'd have to have a printing company publish like 1,000 at a time, which would have cost a small fortune. And then you had to market yourself if you didn't have a book publishing company or publishing house publishing your work for you. If you did, then they would do a lot of the marketing for you. It was the same with artists. If they wanted to get their artwork in front of people, they had to have an agent, and they'd have to go to a gallery, do exhibitions. You had to have people managing your skills and your talents for you. These were people who would put themselves in between you and the audience. But because of the internet, the way the internet works now with social media and YouTube and places like Facebook, you can connect now with your audience directly. And so it got rid of a lot of the gatekeepers. There are people who are making money doing art and paintings by doing their paintings at home, and they use their phone to film themselves creating these paintings. They'll create short videos, they'll talk about the art that they're creating, they'll publish these videos to Instagram, to TikTok, to Facebook and to YouTube, and they'll find their buyers. There'll be people who are following them. There'll be people who go, oh, that's fantastic, I love that. There was one woman called Sophie T. She created a handful of paintings. They were selling for, I think the paintings were £3,000 a piece. And she did 50 prints of each. There was 4 paintings and she did 50 prints of each. And I think the prints were selling for several £100s each. And she made over £100,000, which is probably $120,000 at the time of recording this video, all because of her painting. She got popular by sharing her artwork and doing a free Instagram account or publishing videos to social media. And she built up this following of 1,000 true fans, and they were buying her paintings. She is doing really, really well because of social media, this free platform. And so we have this opportunity, you and I, whatever age we are, to connect with with our audience using these tools, these platforms. So you can create your videos using your webcam or your mobile phone or your tablet, or even a standalone camera, and then you upload it to these free to use platforms, and you get yourself put in front of the right audience. And you can talk about whatever it is that interests you, whatever your subject is, because the chances are you are now going to be able to reach potentially thousands of people. So you should find the right amount of people around the world, because let's say 30 years ago, before the internet was really a big thing, certainly before YouTube was around, before you could, I can remember when they were talking about trying to put video onto MP4s, onto so you could watch them on your phone. I do remember the days when you couldn't watch video online as easy. It would take forever, and it was still analog, and they were trying to get it to digital. So I remember all this. And in them days, if you had a service or a product to sell, you would basically only sell it to the people in your immediate location, who was in your area. So if you did artwork, you'd probably have to put it in a shop or two, or you have an exhibition, but it was only to those people in that area. But the internet has come along and blown the doors wide open. So that means that you can now get your artwork, through photos and through videos, you can get that online and in front of potentially millions of people. Now, I'm not going to say that you will get in front of millions of people. I'm going to say is that you will probably have some videos or some photos will get seen by a few hundred people and a few hundred people, but it can grow. But the people who are the most consistent, the ones who keep pushing stuff out there, will get seen by more and more people. And so Kevin Kelly pointed out the fact that the internet will allow you to connect with your audience, your buying audience, an artist, a musician, a singer, an author, a writer. They can connect with the people who are interested in their artwork, their creative talents. Those people, through email, now through social media and through video, they can connect directly to them. And this was revolutionary, because it meant that not only did you not have to go through gatekeepers, people who are saying that, no, that won't sell, or you're not good enough, we're not going to put a chance on you. You can put a chance on yourself. You can take a chance on yourself. You can connect with these people, and you can sell your products to people, because obviously everything is subjective. Most people are going to say, I like that, or I don't like that. So instead of having someone saying, no, that's not good enough, and then cutting you off, you can put it out there, and then people can make that decision. And through email and through video and through social media, you can connect with an audience. And if you find the right number of people who are willing to spend just $100 or £100 per year with you, then you only need 1,000 people to have a 6-figure a year income. So that is the principle of 1,000 true fans. And you can do that with YouTube. You can do it with Facebook. You can do it with video. You record your video, you upload it, you put it on that platform, and you find the right amount of people who are willing to spend at least £100 with you. Now, obviously, if you want to earn a lot more money, then you're going to need a larger audience and probably charge larger fees for whatever it is. But at the same time, you don't need to. If you want just a 6-figure a year business, let's say you want to earn £100,000 a year, then you find 1,000 people who are willing to pay you £100 for whatever product or service it is you're selling, or you can find 100 people who's willing to spend £1,000, or you can get 10 people who are willing to spend £10,000. You can find the right people, and you've got the right service, then all the right products, you can make the money that you need. But you do that by creating these free photos, these free videos that you share on these free to use platforms. So the opportunity is there. Now, I'm not going to say that you're going to make £1 million using YouTube. I don't know if you are or you're not, or people have, and they've done that through basically being part of the YouTube Partner Program. I can remember, I've talked about this in a previous video, and I'll talk about other people. I'm going to use examples in some other videos, actually looking at the screen and looking at certain channels. But I remember, I think it was Disney Princess. She was a woman. I think she started off as an adult star doing a few naughty films. And then she moved into creating unboxing videos of children's toys on YouTube. She made an absolute fortune. She was making millions per year on advertising revenue through YouTube Partner Program. And I remember looking at this in around 2011, 2012-ish. And now the partner program, the YouTube partner program, is harder to get into. They now want you to prove that you are going to basically, be consistent and run the course. There were too many people. When blogging started, there were so many people setting up websites and trying to get onto Google AdSense or so they can get adverts on their website. There were so many useless blogs or websites built, and people were allowed into the program, but they weren't generating traffic. And so YouTube decided they wanted to tighten things up. Google wanted to tighten things up, and Google owns YouTube, and they've done the same thing with the YouTube Partner Program. So you can't just publish a couple of videos and then join the YouTube Partner Program. You now have to have, I think if you want to get money from advertising revenue on YouTube, you have to have 1,000 subscribers and you need 4,000 video watch hours. Or if it's going to be shorts, I think it's like 1 million watch hours in 90 days or something. But so within a 365-day period, you need to accumulate 1,000 subscribers and have your videos watched 4,000 hours worth of time. And so to get into the partner program. But once you're in there, then you can start generating money from YouTube. So for me, why I wanted to start a YouTube channel at 52 is because I've been creating video now for a few years for a couple of companies. I've been doing it for myself. I'm quite comfortable in front of the camera. I feel like I've got a lot to talk about, a lot of experience. Now, I don't try and pass myself off necessarily as a guru and expert. I'm better at some things than other people. I know more than other people. I have a lot of information to share. So, for example, I have worked for a couple of companies, publishing companies, information publishing companies. They would sell information products around how to make money doing certain things. I've tested horse racing. I've done sort of trading. I've done lots of things. I've wrote articles, emails, and newsletters. I've created products for these companies. And one of the products I created for one company a few years ago, I was never actually privy to the actual figures, but because I was running the actual program, I know that the program has generated over basically £250,000, and so like £250,000 was created from this product that I effectively created. I went to the company, I was doing some work, and then I says, have you considered doing this? And they were like, yeah, but we don't really know how to do it. And I says, well, let me show you how you can do it. Because I was quite technical, I was using WordPress, I was able to sort of take their original sales letters, convert them into WordPress templates, and then I was able to create the websites for these people and install these templates onto the website for the people. Now, the company already had these products ready. It was that they would sell these products for, basically the product that the company was selling was just shy of £2,000. I think it was £1,997, and people who signed in would get these 5 products to sell. And then every month there'd be another product released until they said no. And I think every product after that was £97. And so every product had a sales letter and every product was a digital download. I created the website, I created the templates of the sales pages, I altered the sales pages for each individual, I put them on there. Now that company wouldn't have had that product had it not been for me being there at the time and suggesting it. And like I say, looking back, I wasn't privy to the sales figures, but I do know that when every time someone bought the product, I had to set up the website. I also know that there were so many refunds. I also know how many people had, or so many people had paid for the following products. So I figured it out, not necessarily a full price. I can't give you the exact figures, and because obviously there was mailing and other costs to come out of that, possibly even my wages. But that product itself made over £250,000 in sales. I didn't get to see a penny of that other than what I earned as the freelancer, as the person creating the product, doing the work for them. And so I've been creating, I've been doing a lot of sort of freelance work, writing, creating digital products and videos. So I have a lot to share with people. And I feel like a YouTube channel was probably the best way to go. Because like I said, I don't actually want to work in a location dependent job for somebody else. Now I want to have my own freedom business. And because I've been working for other people over the last few years, and because of the circumstances at home, I have a partner who unfortunately has chronic fatigue syndrome, which she is working through and getting better. But my time has been stretched between those. So I didn't really give we tried different things. I worked on different things, but time was always stretched. I didn't actually build up my own email list. And I was managing email lists for other companies and doing writing and emails and articles and stuff, but I never had my own. But now that AI has come and taken away my work, I am now in a position where I can focus on my own online business. And because I've been observing the way that the AI has been changing the internet, the way things are changing, I know, or I have ideas of how it's all changing and where the future lies. And I personally believe that the future now for anybody who wants to start an online business, whether they be 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 or 80, that they should be looking at creating a YouTube channel. That should be the main place. And they should be focusing on an offline real world industry. And I call this the offline online hybrid business. So this is where you use all the online tools, YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, school, Patreon, whatever it is, Substack, whatever platform you want to use, whichever form of media that you want to share with people, you create an online business, but you focus on an offline subject. Now I've chosen a couple of offline subjects, a couple of real world subjects, but for me this is one of them as well. And this is all my experience, my knowledge around the information publishing industry, working as a freelancer, working abroad in Portugal and back and forth. So this is what I want to talk about. For me, it's creating this journey. But for me, I want to have a online business which is built around YouTube that basically will earn all my living costs. I will be obviously focusing on building other products and services and business around that, which will bring in all the extra. But I want YouTube to be paying for my living costs. And so I want to be in that partner program. And at 52, I believe that this is probably the best way for people of my age, people who are older, to actually start a business that is not overly complicated. So one of my clients, for example, he has a product and it's a membership product. And in that membership product, you pay, I can't remember if it's like 50 quid or £97 a month. You get a website, you get your own website, you get content created, you get this, and you have this, you meet up once a week and talk about stuff. But everything is so clunky. You get the opportunity to sell affiliate products, his products, and make an affiliate commission. There is so much clunkiness there. There's so much to take in, and you're paying a lot of money to be part of this. And the truth be told, there are a lot of people making a lot of money online using free platforms, and they don't need these super page heavy products that are selling digital information or digital products, which you can actually find for free if you went to ChatGPT or Claude. the information publishing industry is collapsing around us. It's falling on its knees. There will be people who are going to buy PDFs, and there will be people buying products, the digital products. There are people who don't necessarily understand how AI is changing the world. They'll go to YouTube, they'll see somebody like me, they'll probably listen to my story, and they might want to buy a digital product or a PDF from me. There will be people who do that, and there will be people who will be wanting to buy, I would say, PDFs that are, I'm going to say, visually heavy. So as an example, and it's a pretty poor example, but there will be people who will pay for feet. We've seen people, they'll buy pictures of feet. So somebody who wants to release a PDF, or wants to make money from imagery, real imagery, it'll be something like that. But a lot of the PDFs that are information based, the ones where it's like, can you train your puppy to not bark when you go out, and how to get your children to eat greens, vegetables, and all those kind of things. Just go to ChatGPT, go to AI, and find the answers. Just put in an answer, ask a question in the chat box, you'll get the answer. You don't need to buy PDFs anymore. You really don't, not information based, because AI is trawling the internet. Every day people use it. It's gaining all the answers. I mean, it can't think. It's great at finding patterns. It's great at researching. It's not very good at thinking outside the box, particularly unless, of course, it's being told to train to look outside the box and compare things and find things. But for most people, the information you can gain from AI. But with video we live in a world where people love video. Everybody's watching video on their mobile phones. Everybody wants to learn from somebody real. There is a fatigue at the moment of AI stuff. There's lots of AI videos out there, and they're getting better, but sometimes they're looking annoying. I've got to the point now where if I see anything that I think is slightly AI, if it's a video online and it's an advert online, I'm off it like a shot. I don't want to buy from people necessarily who are using AI in adverts, because I know adverts have been creative, and they've often been, use celebrities, and we know that celebrities don't necessarily buy stuff. But if you're going to use an AI generated avatar that looks real to try and sell something, I can't help but think that if they don't want to use, they're trying to save money, they don't want to use freelancers or video people, they don't want to use artists and actors, and they're just going to create this complete false world, then what else are they not? What are they lying about? What else are they? It's profit before people. I mean, I know adverts are often not necessarily real. You see them, they're scripted, they're created, but we know that it's tongue in cheek, it's funny, or but if they're going to go really down the AI stuff, to me, it's a bit scammy in some way. So I try and avoid that. But people do love video, and people watch video. We are voyeuristic by nature. We like to learn from video. And so video is a huge thing. Now, you don't have to do these types of videos to make money online at the moment with YouTube. I'm talking to the camera, and I've looked at many different types of YouTube channels just recently. I do have another one called Cheap Portugal Property, and that is so that I'm on it. You don't see my face, apart from on a little graphic. You hear me. My videos are going through images on estate agents in Portugal, these websites, and I'm comparing or looking at these properties, and I'm talking about them. And I wanted something that was, and originally it was something that was going to be an easy way to create a series of videos. I've actually made them harder now by adding more graphics and stuff to them. But there are people who are making a decent income who are creating videos that simply share stories. They use AI to write the stories, and they use AI to create some imagery, and they create these videos and they publish them to YouTube, and people are listening to them like podcasts. People are watching them. And so there are so many different types of YouTube channels out there, so many different types of content that you can create, and people of any age can do this. So I wanted to create this YouTube channel purposely because it gives me the freedom to work from home. It will give me the freedom to work from anywhere in the world. It's unlimited. There's so much you can do. Once you start getting traction, then things are going to start looking. But on top of that, YouTube will pay you once you are starting to get traction. Once you've got your 1,000 subscribers and you've got your 4,000 hours of watch time, once you're in the partner program, you start earning money. Now, I can't say how much you'll earn. Everyone's different. It's also down to the subject. It's also down to you. It's also down to who your audience is. It's all down to your headlines and stuff. But if people are aligned with you, if people enjoy your content, then they probably will carry on watching and learning from you. But you can make money from YouTube itself, and it's the same if you take those videos, if they're niche specific and you are not necessarily saying welcome to my YouTube channel and welcome to, or you could edit those bits out. Those videos could get put on Facebook and other platforms. You can also get paid by them as well. So the thing about video is it's something that you can do relatively easy. You don't need the setup like I've got. You can just use your phone. I've got a ring light up here at the moment. I think the ring light was about £10 or something. Go to Amazon and find the microphone I'm using at the moment. I think it was probably about 15, £20, I think, from Amazon. And obviously my laptop and my monitors is a different story, but I've got a special setup here which I don't need for creating YouTube videos, and you wouldn't as well. But people are using their phones. They're using, see, the ring light I've got has got one of those center things where it's got a clamp for putting your phone in. So there are people who just sit at a desk and they put their, they put the phone in front of them and they just turn it on and they speak. So in many ways, YouTube is free to use. It's simple to use. It's quite straightforward. You don't need to pay out any large monthly cost to have this clunky system where you're selling affiliate products or digital products that are in many ways quickly outdating or people aren't going to want to buy. And you don't have to have these page heavy sales funnels with all this heavy sales letters. With YouTube, with video, you can go on there and talk about what you want without doing any hard sell. And then if you want, you can actually say something like, join my school group. If you want to get to know more information about YouTube videos and what I'm up to, put school in the comment below. In fact, that's actually a good idea. If you want to know more about what I'm doing with YouTube, even though you can see my challenge and my journey on YouTube as well, there's other videos I'll be sharing in my school group. Comment school below and I'll send you the details. And so you could do stuff like that and it costs you virtually nothing to do. If you go to school, now school is a good platform. If you use the hobby platform or the hobby tier, the price is $8 per month. It's basically, no, it's $9 per month, which is $108 for the whole year, which in the UK is just shy of 100. I think it's probably even 80 quid or something like that. So for £80, $108 a year, you can have your own school community and you'll use YouTube to create videos, and you'll say to people, now, if you want to know, I'll just bang my microphone. One of the good things about YouTube is what I plan to do. I'm trying to make things easy. I'm going to try and keep, I'm going to do lots of off-scripted. I'm not going to use scripts. I'm just going to sort of talk as I think. And if I bang something, if I do errors or anything like that, I'm going to leave a few errors in because it's human. It's what I am. It's natural. And I want people to know that they are talking to a real person or listening to a real person. This is me on my journey. So going back to what we were saying, you can use YouTube, which is free. You create your videos. You can be around a certain topic. So let's say it was pickleball. You can say, if you would like to know more about pickleball, or if you'd like to know how I bloody blah with pickleball, if you'd like to learn how to get the best out of yourself in pickleball, click the link below, or comment below with pickleball. I'll send you a link to a report or to a landing page, or come and join my school group. So you can do that call of action, and it's not a hard sell. You just sort of tell people something, you share some information, you share some wisdom, you talk about a specific subject, and then you just sort of say, if you'd like to know more, or if this interests you, why not find out more here? And you just allow those people to make a decision. There's no hard sell. So, and like I say, YouTube is free to use, as is Facebook. School has a price, Patreon has a price, but you pay when you make a sale. Substack is the same. You can set up for free, but once you start charging for it, then they'll take a percentage out of any sales. So these are platforms that you can work with now for free without having to pay £49 or £97 a month to get started with, to sell somebody else's outdated content. So, and this is what I want to talk about. This is why I wanted to do my own YouTube channel, because it gives me the opportunity to make money. It gives me the opportunity to connect with lots of people around the world. It gives me the opportunity to build a following, to build an audience. It gives me the opportunity to do all this for free. It gives me the opportunity to talk about my online, offline. I'll try and get that right. It's the offline, online hybrid business. I guess it doesn't really matter, but you're talking about an offline subject or a real world industry, niche topic, and you're talking about it online, and you make money through the online domain. So that's what an offline online business hybrid is. It's a mixture of the two. You're using the online tools to sell or create a business around an offline subject, because that is where I think the future is. But YouTube is fantastic because it's available to all of us, anyone of any age, and you can talk about any subject, any topic. You can do this. Right, I'm going to bring this video to a close. I hope you found this enlightening and interesting and, you know, in some form or another useful. If you did, please hit the subscribe button. Please press the like button. If you want to share it, that's even better. And I will see you again in another video. So thanks for watching. Cheers and goodbye.